The following program is paid for, and the opinions expressed are not those of Town Square Media or station advertisers.
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schweim.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schweim.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the locker room on Super Bowl Sunday here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. We got a big day ahead of us, a big sports day ahead of us, and we're going to kick it around, talk a little sports, why the snow's falling. What's up, Hunter Brody?
What's going on, Bill?
You know what, man? I'm looking out my window. We got some real thick, heavy snowflakes. How was your commute down to the studio?
It actually wasn't too bad. When I left this morning, it was just rain. There wasn't even snow yet, but I got a text from the fiance just about 5 minutes ago saying, holy hell, it's coming down.
It's coming down. It's a very picturesque sight outside my window. And, yeah, man, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to get the wings going tonight. We're going to get some nachos with the beef in there, right? What's your go-to?
We normally go, we order a bunch of stuff like the Chick-fil-A platters, the Philly pretzel platters. Like we'll go down the road of picking up from a bunch of different places and hanging out with some friends. So we're going that road.
All right. Okay. So I see you're sporting. By the way, we're on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook today, so you can check in on us. So see that Hunter's all sporting his orange and black. I like it. I got my NFL. See, I'm neutral today.
Yeah, and that's the way to approach things. I didn't know what to do this morning. I'm like, what direction do I go into? Well, the Flyers play at noon. You get a little noon taste of some hockey before the Super Bowl. So
yeah, that's right. A little hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah, exactly. That's good.
Little hockey hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah, there you go. Good work out of you.
All right, so we got a great show lined up today. We're going to be taking text messages. We're going to be taking your predictions because, once again, Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures is going to provide us with a little Super Bowl paraphernalia. And I think it's going to be a souvenir cup or glass or something. I'm not 100% sure because we got to see what they have. But today, you're going to send your text message. You're going to send your prediction to the text board at 609-403-0973. Pick the winner, pick the score, and make sure you give us your name and your address. And the winner will be announced tomorrow on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill and Hunter Brody. So stay tuned for that. So you got to listen to the whole show to see who actually wins the prize. And that'll be pretty cool, huh, Hunter?
Yeah, hopefully I get it right.
No, see, today you're exempt.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. Now, I'm excited, though. It's like, I'll be honest with you, and it's no one's fault, but because of the way the media has to be with the Super Bowl and the way that everything's going on based on COVID and all, this week didn't really have the Super Bowl vibe like it normally does. So now that it's Super Bowl Sunday, I'm not going to say like I'm fully there just yet because it's 10 a.m., but I'm more juiced up than I have been all week for it.
Yeah, it has put a little, the COVID's like messed the whole 2020 up, right? 2020's been all messed up. But, by the way, watched the news last night, the world news and the national news. And, boy, they were showing pictures of all the parties going on, people not wearing masks and not social distancing at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's been going on since the start of this thing, sadly. And I feel that's one of the reasons why we're still having these issues. We're not in an area where it's as open like some of the other places down south and whatnot. So we don't experience it firsthand to the level of, Florida and Texas and things like that. But yeah, it's been going on for a while, sadly.
So what we'll do today is we'll take people's text messages with their prediction throughout the whole show. I want to talk a little Sixers with you. And of course I want to talk a little Flyers with you. I really want to concentrate today on the Eagles because we didn't really touch it too much yesterday because you know what? All the rumor and speculation, and it's driving me nuts.
Oh, I feel you. It's fatigue.
It's fatigue. I got fatigue.
Yeah, it's been the same conversation for like 4 months now. I mean, really, since Carson Wentz started sucking at one point of the season, it's been the same convo over and over again. But I think at this point, it's inevitable. You will not see Carson Wentz in an Eagles uniform after this past week. This week, you'll see. It's probably, realistically, it's probably already worked out, but because it's the Super Bowl, they're not going to announce anything, obviously.
All right, 609-403-0973 is the text board. You send in your prediction for the Super Bowl, the winner, and your name and address, and where you'll receive a prize package courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. Pro Image Sports, if they have the largest selection of team jerseys, clothing, hats, you'll find the newest team styles from vendors like Nike, New Era, Mitchell & Ness, 47 brand. So stop by one of their 13 Delaware Valley Mall locations, including the Pro Image Sports located at the Hamilton Mall. They have the largest selection of team jerseys around. You can shop online at fantreasures.com to see thousands of pro and college sports teams items available right at your fingertips. So make sure you send us a text at 609-403-0973 with your prediction, the team, the winner, the score, and your name and address. All right, Hunter, spin the wheel for the first topic. Flyers, Sixers, or even if you want to throw Phillies in there, whatever you want to touch.
Let's go Flyers. Let's
Let's
the Flyers.
go Flyers.
Yeah, I got you.
See what you did there?
Yeah, I got you. Well, Noah, how do you look? Bad stretch against the Boston Bruins, no doubt about it.
Horrible. Tuukka Rask owns them.
How do you feel right now after seeing them play since last week when we talked?
I got to tell you, I said yesterday on the show, and I'm going to say it again. They look like they're finding their way. I think there's definitely, by losing Niskanen on the blue line, it has definitely hurt. I know you're not high on Robert Hagg. I know you're not high on Sanheim.
No, I like Sanheim. I like Sanheim. There's three guys I like.
I think that this team is. I think that you're going to see a lot better hockey as the season progresses. From the blue line faceoffs, Couturier is back on the ice. With Phil Myers, when he's back solid, I think once this team starts to gel, I think I like it. I think they're a promising young team.
Oh, they're definitely a promising young team, and obviously Sean Couturier coming back is going to be a difference maker. You see what that top line in Pasta, Marchand, and Bergeron do to you. Now, they do that to every team. That's how special they are, but Sean Couturier definitely helps that out. I'm afraid of the decor. I think that you just see a revolving door between Gustafsson, Braun, Haig. You just don't know what you can do there because you don't have enough pieces. I look at this team as a team that has three NHL solid defensemen that I think has a real upside, and that's Provorov, Sanheim, and Myers. And from there, you have three defensemen that are really worrisome, and you just don't know what you're going to get every night, and that's concerning. And I think that relates to the D-zone issues that you see.
I think this team it's gonna take a little while for them to get themselves. I think this team has so much promise. I'm not down on them. I just think that it's just going to take time. It's a work in progress, but I like them. I
like them too. Yeah, to be clear, I think they're a playoff team.
Last week you were very skeptical and kind of negative on Haig.
Yeah, he stinks.
He doesn't stink, Hunter. I'm surprised you're saying that.
He's a healthy scratch every other night for a reason. He's making horrendous decisions, and last year was the outlier. He was brutal before last year. He's a tough defenseman.
You say brutal, and I don't think that's fair.
He's a in and out of the lineup guy. So if you want to rely on Robert Hagg, then that's scary because he's a guy that doesn't deserve to play 82 games a year because he's not that good. Like I think he's very in and out kind of guy. But I'm down on them because I still think they're a playoff team. I still think they're an above average team in the league. But if we talk about winning the Stanley Cup, I think that they're going to struggle because I don't think that D zone is going to hold up.
Well, I don't know if they're ready for the Stanley Cup, but I don't know when. The only thing is you got Couturier, you got Voracek, you got Giroux. These guys are it's got to happen soon because
those are the guys stepping up.
Right.
Those are the guys stepping up. Right now, the offense is scary because last year it was like the depth was great. You got goals from Raffle, Lawton, all the young guys at the bottom of the lineup, although Raffle's a veteran, but the bottom six guys were contributing. This year, you're getting these goals from JVR. Claude Giroux has been playing fantastic this year. Voracek, all the veteran older guys are stepping up, and you're getting no scoring from anybody else, it seems.
Yeah, you need your role players to step up. Now, Boston Bruins, I said it yesterday on the show. I can't stand Marchand. I can't stand who's the captain?
Bergeron.
Bergeron. He just gets. I mean, but that's the kind of guy you got to have. Guys, you have to have on your team that get under other people's skin. You know what I mean? I'd be great on my team.
Oh, definitely.
I'd love to have him on my team, but I can't stand them as Bruins.
Yeah, Marchand crosses the line. If you remember, 2 years ago, he was licking people in the face and got fined from the NHL. So he crosses the line a little bit. Bergeron, though, it's hard for me to hate Bergeron because he's so damn respected. He's so respected around the league that I can't hate him, but Marchand is an easy hate to face.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of other characters that, and I for some reason I don't like Tuukka Rask. I commented. I want to get your take on this. The goalie pads are so huge. Tuukka Rask is big as it is. You put those pads on him, there's nowhere to shoot. Did you see when it was Farabee went on a penalty shot? There was nowhere for him to shoot.
Yeah, I hated that attempt. There was
That
no
was
reason
horrible.
to look. No reason to look 5-hole. But
What
I
do you
talked about
think?
all the veterans. He's someone who stepped up. Travis Konechny's been too quiet for my liking, though.
Yeah, well, he got benched the other night.
Yeah, that's more for the defensive side of the game because he's cheating offense. That's the problem. I think he's so worried about the offensive side that he's starting to cheat in the D zone to get that offensive chance, and he's hurting the team on the other side.
All right, when we get back on the other side, I do want to talk to you about one subject, and you know what it's going to be about. We were texting each other. Mike was in on it a little bit when Abu Kubel dropped the gloves. If you want to say he dropped them, he looked like he got dropped. Well, we're going to discuss that a little bit with you, and we'll do that after this. Make sure you send a text to 609-403-0973. Going to text the your Super Bowl prediction for an opportunity to win a prize, a gift package from Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. 609-403-0973 is the text board. Make sure you include your address so we can ship it out to you. Want to remind people, the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. And everybody knows that winter can be really harsh on your house. If you're looking to replace those old, damaged, insufficient windows, call Steve at Steve & Rizzo Inc. I did. Steve replaced my windows, and they look great. Steve personally returned my phone call, and his team was nothing but professional from start to finish. With over 30 years experience, you can't go wrong. So write this number down right now. Steve Rizzo, 856-547-1760. That's 856-547-1760. And ask for Steve. Of course, check out his reviews online. They're pretty amazing. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more Flyers talk. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. We're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. We're streaming live on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. You can see Hunter Brody. He's sporting his Flyers colors. I got the standard NFL. And Hunter, I got to tell you, man, I said this to you before the show started. I live in a house with like 4 or 5 women. You would not believe what I got to go through to watch sports.
It's funny because I think I would know, but like if you told me hypothetically, like, I live in a house with 5 women, it's going to be tough to watch sports. I'd be like, yeah, you're probably right. So I'm not surprised, but to see the reaction of you going through it, I sympathize a little bit.
A little bit. You got to give me all your sympathy, dude. I wish I had a camera so you, Mike Gill, Pete Thompson, Josh could all see me, what I got to go through. Last night, I just wanted to watch the Sixers game, but I had to play Uno with my 100-year-old mom, my wife, and my 5-year-old, and what makes it worse, I got beat by my 5-year-old.
This is amazing. I can only imagine seeing you sitting in that living room wherever you were, just trying to keep one eye on the game and flipping the cards, and you're getting all stressed out.
I get the reverse card. You know what I mean? You got to pay. Pick up 4. I don't know who's cheating.
You're probably the one cheating.
The only solace I got to say with this is the fact that, the Nets didn't really play anybody last night. Harden's the only star that played. So you knew you better get a win. And we'll get into that in a few minutes. But you guys would, I'm telling you guys would thoroughly, I don't know what your reaction would be.
Well, we have the live stream now, so maybe we can try and find a way to live stream Billy Schweim 24/7 around the house.
Yo, Hunter, wasn't there a show where they put up cameras in all the houses, a reality show?
Well, they do that in all these. Kardashians have the reality show. Yeah, they have that.
I should probably sell it.
Yeah, the locker room with Billy Schweim. It's perfect. I can see it now.
100-year-old mom, a wife that doesn't understand, doesn't think, thinks it's just, you don't have to watch. I got a show. I got to be able to watch. I got to talk about it. A 5-year-old that doesn't understand.
Don't forget your brother.
A stepdaughter. Nah, he is a chick. he is a girl. Nah. But, you guys would, I guess your reaction, some would be laughing, some would be shaking their heads. And Josh would be like, question marks coming out of his head.
Yeah, it would be good, though. I'm kind of intrigued. I think we have something here. I'm with you, though, that when people kind of look at it as, you don't really need to watch, or not really you don't need to watch, but I think it's hit a point now where, dissecting a game isn't so much the fun of, I'm not trying to downplay it, but it's a job, you know what I mean? But, because it's sports, it doesn't get looked that way. Because I have family, like my fiance's family, you're just watching the game anyway. It's like, it's not just watching the game anyway. There's a lot into it.
You need to hear the commentary.
For sure. You have
to hear the commentary.
You should see my notebooks during games. Every game, I got notes. I check out what Stock River's doing in the first quarter. What has he changed in the third quarter? X's and O's strategy. It's not just like, hey, I'm sitting on the couch and just tipping them all back until I pass. You know what I mean? You are dissecting this heavily night in and night out.
I have a man room right here. I got my Super Bowl trophy up there, right? I got the man room, but you can't just you get ridiculed if you walk out of the room.
I'm with you. Look, you're preaching to the choir with that.
All right. So that's my frustration. My other frustration with ice hockey, and you say that, by the way, I watched the first 2 periods of the St. Louis Blues and the Coyotes.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Pretty entertaining game. I was texting Chief during the game.
Was he texting you back?
No, this is the first time. This is the first time he hasn't.
During a game?
So I can only assume that he was probably pissed.
Yeah, for real.
Plus, some of the things I said probably, he didn't have a response for.
What'd you think of the game? There was a fight in that game. It was a good one,
yes,
too.
There was.
I told you, around the league, there are fights every night in all these games.
Okay. Here's what I want to say to you. That's cool that there are fights around the league. I get it. That's great. I don't care. I want my Flyers to be tough. I need a bully. I need one Broad Street bully, somebody that has skill, but also can drop the glove and put fear into the opponent. We don't have anybody who can do that. It's a necessity. It's
It's
have
not
to
a necessity.
It
This
is.
team is good until the only thing this team is missing is defense. If you fix the defense, this team can win a championship. That's all they're missing is
Hunter,
defense. That's all they're missing.
You played hockey. You know that if you got to keep your head up because there's a guy on the ice that's going to level you out, it takes a little bit away from what you're trying to accomplish.
You know what else is scary? You know what's scarier? When I know a guy can walk through me and dangle our entire team because they're so nasty and skilled. That's scarier.
Yeah, but if you got to worry about both, it's double.
No, because that guy nowadays, that fourth line grind that you're thinking about, that's now speed, youth, and skill. So instead of worried about getting hit, which you still get hit anyway, you're still getting hit. It's just not to the same level. So you're still worried about getting hit regardless. And now you have a player who's skilled, fast, and you got to worry about your gap, and you got to gap up with all four lines. That's just as intimidating. It's just a different level of intimidation.
Why Kubel got his butt kicked? He took a couple shots.
Yeah, he did, and he stayed up. He stayed up.
He did. He got lumped up. He got hit right in the noggin. It didn't go down. You didn't knock me down, Ray. He didn't go down. But if you notice, after that fight, and I even text you, there was a little bit more jump in their skates, and they were getting opportunities. It didn't last long, but they were getting them. And that's what a good fight does.
Yeah, I'm not discrediting that. I understand I understand what fights do. I understand their value, and I think that there's purpose. There's reason for it. I'm not anti-fighting, Bill. I think where the league is now has a good amount of fighting.
We don't have anybody.
But this team isn't one fight away from winning a championship. They're defense away from winning a championship. They're not one fight away. They're not a fighter away. They're a defense. Their defense needs to be helped. That's it. If they fix that, you are legitimately talking about a contender without any sort of fighter.
My point is it's an integral part of winning. It's a key. You got to have toughness. You got to have intimidation. You know it's a game of intimidation.
I mean, when you talk about those Pittsburgh Penguins teams that went back to back, why did they win the championship? Because they have one of the most skilled players, great goaltending,
and they were also feared. Because I know I was there when Rick Tocchet used to tell me all the time, Schweiner, when I came up, I dropped the gloves, I got myself a reputation.
Oh, I'm talking about Crosby's. Back-to-backs.
Those backs.
Yeah. Well, back in your day, now, everyone fought, but that doesn't mean that it's a different game now. This Flyers team, the fighting, it's great. It has a role. I'm not anti-fighting. I'm fine with it. There is plenty of times where, like you said, it creates that spark, especially with no fans. I think it's even more important now because you got to get the boys going. But I agree with you. I'm not discrediting the value of a fight. But to look at this team and say what they need is a fighter, that's like 50th on the list. They're not far off from a championship. They need defensemen. If they get defensemen, you're talking about a real team. But I'm not against your concept of the fight. I'm with it. I've been around it. I know the spark. It's a thing.
Okay. 609-403-0973 is the text board number. Send us your prediction, the score, who wins the game. Make sure you include your name and address so we can get you a prize package. Actually, I think it's going to be a memorabilia thing, like a cup, a glass, Super Bowl 55 glass from Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. Of course, they're in the Hamilton Mall. You can check them out, or you go on to fantreasures.com for all kind of pro and college sports items. They have tons of stuff. It's great. Go on there. 609-403-0973 is the text board. Now, there's so much going on. We got the Sixers. I want to get to the Eagles because obviously with tons of rumors swirling around, reports now that Carson Wentz might go to Chicago. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little Sixers with you, Hunter. Are you satisfied with the win last night? Albeit the Nets didn't have their two of their big guns.
Yeah, I mean, how could I not be, right? They took care of business.
They took care of business. Were you? I mean, if they would have lost, you would have been really upset. They didn't. They took care of business. It's just that, but it just does it mean anything?
Would I be really upset? No, because I'm someone that realizes, the Lakers went to double overtime last night against the Detroit Pistons.
Right.
It's the NBA. And I know people don't like to hear that, but in 82, if you go look at all the championship winning teams, they win about 58 or so, high 50s in an 82 game season. Well, do the math. That means they're losing over 20 times. You lose basketball games.
Sure.
So it's not the end of the world, but that would have been 2 back-to-back tough losses. There's context surrounding it, but would I think any less of this team? No. I mean, they're the top of the Eastern Conference.
All right. Is Tobias Harris, is he a all-star?
This year, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for the
So
first time.
Now, what do you think about Ben Simmons? I think he's 10th on the list in voting.
No, I don't think that he has the numbers to support being an all-star this year, even though his little intangible. The all-star game is all about like flash and show and points and stat. Do I think he has those numbers statistically to pop to make him an all-star? No, I don't. Do I think he has that skill set to be an all-star with the defense? Yes, but you don't look at defense as an all-star.
Hunter, why does he continue to get this type of respect when he's not really scoring and he's not really? I mean, obviously we know
he could change the game in other areas.
Right, but we've seen that. We've seen snippets of that. We haven't seen a consistent effort. You know, he hasn't been able to do that consistently.
That is true. But I think everyone just looks at his skill set and says, damn, this kid is special. And that's kind of what. And there's a lot of fans.
Is he getting these votes because he's popular? I don't get
it. It's a popularity contest. That's what the NBA All-Star is.
I know, but why? I just don't understand. Like, maybe he has obviously a better reputation nationally than he does locally.
Yeah, I think that.
Did you say?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he's obviously a person that is very controversial in this city, but nationally, yeah, I would agree with you that most people look at him as a top dog, like a top guy.
All right, because I don't understand it, but like I told you last week and the prior weeks when we get into this debate, I wouldn't trade him. I think he's more valuable to this team, but he's not an all-star.
I don't think he has the numbers to support it this year, but I understand what he does that doesn't go on the stat sheet that would define him being an all-star. But look, as frustrated as I've been with Ben, I said that I hate how this is somewhat a knock on Ben Simmons. Out of the entire league, if I say there's maybe two people that I would trade him for, how is that a disturbing thing? How is that something that looks, if I say I would trade him for Harden or I would trade him for Bradley Beal, imagine saying that and thinking that that's a negative on Ben Simmons, that I put him in a category of that and type of return.
It's not, but you're not. I mean, other teams aren't going to just do that straight up.
No. But I mean, he was available for the James Harden trade for a reason. Now, I don't think they're trading him, so I think it's kind of a moot point at this time. But I'm just saying, I've been frustrated with him. I don't think it's a negative to say out of the entire NBA, there's two people that I would look to trade him for. I mean, come on.
No, I hear you. All right, 609-403-0973 is the text board. Send us your Super Bowl prediction. Pick the winner and the score. Whoever gets closest to that number will win a prize, a gift from Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. They have the largest selection of team jerseys, clothing, hats. You'll find the newest team styles from vendors like Nike, New Era, Mitchell & Ness, 47 brand. Stop by one of the 13 Delaware Valley Mall locations, including Pro Image Sports, inside the Hamilton Mall for the largest selection of sports teams jerseys around. Or shop online at fantreasures.com and see thousands of pro and college sports teams items available right at your fingertips. Hey, the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection, professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts to help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati of the Main Line, located minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan and the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation's certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the mainline, at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we're going to talk Eagles. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Can you believe that, Hunter? It's Super Bowl Sunday already?
Flies by.
Yeah, man. So a lot of stuff going on with the Eagles. Let's get some football talk now. Again, we got our Sixers and Flyers out of the way. Now let's concentrate on football because, especially with our Eagles, man, a lot going on. There's rumors flying that Wentz to Chicago for Nick Foles, number one, and Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, Natalie Eganoff is reporting that it's going to be that package. That's what she's hearing, at least. And I've seen some other people throw out there as well a similar package. And I know the optics are brutal, and it pisses me off because it's like this front office is so unaware of what they're doing. But the big part of the package would be getting the first rounder back. The Foles thing is just because the money is so brutal, but they don't realize that the hideous look of it is you just traded Wentz for Foles.
Can you imagine that? How?
Oh, I think it's pretty. Look, I'm not going to say it's 100%, but I think there's legitimacy to some of these reports that have his name in it because you're talking about the contract. The contract in Nick Foles is bad. That is going to be a moving piece if you're going to get a first round pick in return.
Listen, the Eagles, if they trade Wentz, there'll be a $33.8 million hit against the cap, dead money.
Yep, and you still have to cut Malik Jackson. You still have to cut Alshon Jeffrey. There's still Deshaun Jackson in the mix. You're going to move. It's not like that's one person. One.
You know, here's the thing. Wentz has to go. He can't stay. We agree to that, right?
Absolutely.
You can't have Carson Wentz. He's got to go. It's just too. There's too much water under the bridge, if you will. He's got to go. But for what? For who? For what?
I don't even care about the
Waters.
return. I'm not even. Gil and I were going back and forth. Like, what's the fine line where you say I'm not giving up on him for this price? And I think it was so horrible inside. And keep in mind, this is right after that Rams trade, so you didn't really know what the market was going to be. I said if your best offer was a third round pick and that was your best offer, I'm still doing it. Because you can't have him here. You will be a disaster internally. Everything we just went through, it will just snowball again next year. At what point is that so important that you got to get rid of it?
And of course, other teams know this. They see our cards. There's nothing to hide. They know how dysfunction. Like I'm more concerned about the dysfunction of this front office.
And there is a concern there.
You have an accountant running this team, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the issues as of late has been bad. Jeffrey Lurie is just as much in the doghouse, in my opinion. Now, this is according to Sport Track. If the Eagles trade Wentz, trade or release Zach Ertz, and do a post-June 1st for Alshon and Malik Jackson, they'll be taking on $50 million of dead money, which is 26% of the projected cap.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah, that's bad. That's
horrendous.
Bad. Horrendous.
This accountant got us in bad shape, man. This accountant has put us in bad shape.
He has, but he's also someone that knows how to dig you out of it. So you got to see what he does moving forward. I'm anti Howie for sure, but he is strong. If there's one thing he's good at, it is moving around salary cap pieces. So I don't know what to do with that information other than let him try and work out of this and see where it goes. But here's the thing. If it gets so ugly because he keeps digging himself into a bigger hole, eventually you would have to imagine that it would be a Joe Banner situation where you think he's untouchable forever, but then there's one defining moment where Jeffrey Lurie decides to make the move.
So I can't help but think after winning the Super Bowl, Howie and Jeff got all full of themselves, thinking that these guys are smarter than everybody else in the room, right? And they took on a different, like I guess they felt like every move they made was going to be the right one. Almost like they let their guard down, if you will, or got cocky. I don't know which way you want to go with that, but I think there's so much dysfunction at the top of this. I don't see it straight out. Now you got a young coaching staff that they're going to be able to manipulate.
That's exactly what they're going to do. And it's hard to trust anything that they're doing at this moment. I know people always like to date back to the whole entire Jeffrey Lurie tenure, but Andy Reid was a significant chunk of when he was here, and he hired him so that he does get praise for that. But to act as if you look at all this success that they've had, and one man was such a big portion of it, doing a lot of these jobs, whether it was drafting players and using his draft board, it's hard for me to relate that and say, oh, well, since this organization under this owner and GM had success, well, one man was such a big chunk of that. where I can't now say, well, all that relates to Howie and Jeffrey. You know what I mean?
I just this whole thing is perplexing. It's got me shaking my head because how does the organization? Remember, we were told it's going to be it's the gold standard and this is the new normal. And look where we are today.
I know it's a disaster.
It's
it really
a disaster. It is a disaster. And now they moved up to get Wentz at number 2, and 5 years later, look where we are.
Yeah,
It's amazing. 609-403-0973 is the text board number. Send us your prediction. Pick the winner and the score, and whoever gets closest or hits it on the head, the prediction will win a little gift from Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. We'll get that out to you. Of course, they have the largest selection of team jerseys, clothing, hats. You'll find the newest team styles from vendors like Nike, New Era, Mitchell & S, 47 brand. So stop by one of the 13 Delaware Valley Mall locations, including Pro Image Sports inside the Hamilton Mall, for the largest selection of sports team jerseys around. Jalen Hurts, is he going to be your quarterback moving forward?
yes, I think so. If you bring in Nick Foles, you're going to have the quarterback controversy from the fan base instantly because this guy won you a Super Bowl, so there'll be people pushing for it. But I mean, I rock with Jalen Hurts, and the question is, everyone's asking, is he your franchise guy moving forward? I don't think he's your franchise guy, but I think he's someone that can hold the fort down until you figure it out. You're not going to just completely flop it. Like they're going to compete hard for Jalen Hurts. He's a leader. He's got a skill set that's intriguing. So I don't think they're just going to plummet instantly with him under center. He's kind of your stopgap guy until you figure out what you're going to do, and I'm okay with that.
609-403-0973 is the text board. Shoot us your prediction, the team, the winner, and the score. And whoever gets closest to it or hits it right on the head will get you a little prize, a Super Bowl memorabilia prize. I want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection, professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, the shortest center city, and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA, that's Surety Title. For more information, call my good buddy Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our areas heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia, South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more football talk. Eagles. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. We're also streaming live on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. You can check us out there at 97.3 ESPN. And Hunter, what's it doing down there? I know you get the window behind you, but is it raining, snow? What's going on down there?
I think at the studio, from my knowledge, it's not anything crazy. But it is, like I said before, really coming down up by my house.
Yeah, it's coming down now, and the flakes are small. So that looks like you have a long – they say it's supposed to last till about 2 or 3 o'clock and then get out of here.
I could be wrong, but I think I also heard something about Wednesday, too.
Yeah. You funny. You text me, what are we living in Alaska?
I know. I love it, though. I'm here for snow every day of the
It's
week.
your kind of weather, right?
Yeah, I love it. I'm here for it.
All right, 609-403-0973. Give us your Super Bowl prediction, the team, the score, and make sure you include your name and your address so we get you out a memorabilia, something from Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures commemorating Super Bowl 55. Have you guys been doing a little trivia at all, going over any trivia?
Not too much, no.
All right, who won the first Super Bowl, Hunter?
Green Bay Chiefs.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, that was the Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, the very first Super Bowl. Who was the MVP of that game?
All right, now you're gonna throw it somewhere I don't know.
He won back to back. His number was 15. Don't look at it. I see you typing.
No, I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm not a
Four-star.
Okay.
All right.
You're talking to someone who was born in 1995. You're going to throw me who was the MVP of the first Super Bowl ever. I mean, you know what I mean? You're going to
Hunter,
get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn, Hunter.
I'm surprised you didn't throw who was the first NHL fight ever and who won it. How many broken noses were involved?
All right, this is a little bit more contemporary for you. Name the only 2 players to win Super Bowl MVP 3 times. 2 players.
Okay, hold on. I think I can get this one. Joe Montana.
That is correct.
And I don't think I can get the other one off the top of my head within a second.
He's playing tonight.
Oh, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. There you go.
Yeah. I was thinking, because your mindset's so old school, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't even thinking of any. I'm like, all right, let me go back in the day. I got to think of something. But, I did not. That went right over my head. I'm thinking too old school.
Yeah, you're thinking too hard. I'll hit you with a few things as we continue with the show. Hey, the second hour, we're going to talk with former Atlanta Falcon from Pemberton High School, Ed Smith, who played in the Super Bowl. I think it was 33 he played in. And we had Mike Horan on yesterday on the show, who was in 4 Super Bowls. And I asked him, I said, hey, Mike, does it ever get old going to the Super Bowl? He said, no, never gets old.
I can't imagine it getting old. Can you?
Well, if he played on so many different teams. He went to 3 Super Bowls with the Broncos and 1 with the Rams. So, it's a business. But he said you still get that, it's the biggest stage. You still get pumped up. Yeah, it was I thought, because it's a business. Maybe, you're so concentrating on the job at hand, you don't realize until, after the game, after you're done playing.
Yeah, no, I think that's a reasonable way to look at it. Like maybe you don't see it fully while you're in there just because you're so into it and you're just like, you're so engaged and you're so focused and you're so determined that maybe it takes away from like really taking a step back and appreciating it, that kind of perspective on it. So yeah, but it's the Super Bowl. I mean, you're right. It's got to be an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah. All right, Hunter, we have a couple people that have texted in with their predictions. Let's hear a couple.
Yeah, we do. We got it's coming in for sure. Love you guys. Sad to see what's happening to Carson Wentz. This is Joe from Deptford. Kansas City 34, Tampa Bay 17.
Wow. Yeah, look, my heart is with Tom Brady. I want the GOAT to win. All right, we had Kevin Ross on the program last week from Ballsbury, went to Temple, played for the Chiefs for 11 years. And he's now on the coaching staff with Bruce Arians. I know Kevin personally, so I'm pulling for them. But my head says Chiefs.
Yeah, my head says Chiefs as well. I don't care. I think it's going to be such a great matchup to begin with. I don't really it's just going to be such a good game. Like, I just don't really care how it's going to play out. I just want it to be a solid, successful game. Like, you got Tom Brady versus Pat Mahomes. It's fantastic stuff.
You couldn't write a better script.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Get the wings, get the nachos, get it going, man. I'm going to have a real fire in the fireplace, man.
You have a real fire all the time. You have a real fire every single day, it seems.
I won't be in a 3-point stance. I'm going to be more relaxed because it's not my team.
So you're just going to appreciate it for what it is.
Appreciate it. Hunter, we're watching history tonight.
You're not wrong.
We're watching history.
If Tom Brady wins his 7th.
Walk away.
No, because guess what?
Keep going?
Yeah, because he can win the 8th. If you're this age and you can win the 7th, how do you walk away? No, and it's Tom Brady. If it's someone else, like if it was Peyton Manning towards the end or maybe Drew Brees this year, you would say, okay, when you look at him physically, you understand that this isn't going to be what it once was. But Tom Brady, he's not falling off a cliff like Drew Brees is. You know, obviously you can see where it is starting to happen, but it's not a huge downfall yet. There's more in the tank.
609-403-0973. Get your Super Bowl prediction in for a shot to win a souvenir, a Super Bowl souvenir, courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. We have another prediction.
Yes, I am just looking through them as we speak here. This is from Robert. Bucks 30, Chiefs 27. Everyone has this being a high-scoring game. That's 57 points or so. I think the over/under's at 56, so it's close to it.
Do you realize that Tom Brady in all the Super Bowls, he's never scored a touchdown or either thrown one or scored one in the first quarter?
I did not know that. That's a very interesting stat.
Amazing.
Yeah,
you would think the GOAT, right?
Yeah, that seems like impossible.
Takes him a little while to warm up, but when he does.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm looking forward to it.
Give us another one.
All right, we have right here. This is from Joe in EHT, I believe. Yeah, he misspelled something. Tampa Bay 26, Kansas City 21. Wow. So we have a Tampa Bay victory coming in.
Wow, man. I love it. Keep them coming. 609-403-0973. The winner will be announced tomorrow on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill and Hunter Brody. You got to stay tuned for that. And then we'll get you out. I guess we'll get you a souvenir Super Bowl 55 glass or something. Johnny DeMaria at Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures will put something together for us. The first hour is in the books. It goes by lickety-split, as always. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more Super Bowl. I want to get into some more Carson Wentz with you. Because we'll talk about some of the rumors that are floating around. We'll get into that. We'll talk with former Falcon and a member of he played in Super Bowl 33, Ed Smith. Of course, you can hear him. He's on Believe in the Cardinals podcast. Check him out there. It's the Locker Room with Billy Schweim right here on 97.
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schweim.
Yeah, hey, Billy. How you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill. How you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schweim.
We are back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN. Hunter Brody back in the studio, pushing all the buttons, keeping us on. We're streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. How we make it out, Hunter?
Oh, we're making out all right.
All right, we got a couple more. Listen, we're taking Super Bowl predictions today. Send us a text at 609-403-0973. Give us your prediction, the team that's going to win, the score. Make sure you include your name and your address to be eligible to win a giveaway item for Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. Probably be like a souvenir glass or something with Super Bowl 55 on it. Of course, Pro Image Sports, they got a lot of cool stuff down there. Hunter, you ever been in one of those stores?
Yes, I have.
It's like you walk in there, you're like, I want this, I want that.
I know. I do that all the
what I
time.
mean?
Yeah, you got to put that credit card away.
I felt like a kid. I walked in there. They got jerseys. They got helmets. They have everything. Everything that you could possibly want. They have it. We have a couple more text messages come in. So far we had $2 and one Chief, right?
Yes, and no, we got more Chiefs than we do Bucks.
Well, but so far you only read.
Oh yeah. But we also got more coming in here. Another Bucks. Bucks 24, Kansas City 21.
So we got $3.
Yeah, we got a 28-24 Chiefs, Matt. And we got
Where's Matt from? Did he say where he's from?
not the town name, but the street address. So
Well,
that's a problem.
Yeah, you got to include your name and your address if you want to be eligible to win the souvenir, the Super Bowl souvenir.
We got Joe from Williamstown. He says the O-line trumps the quarterback. Bucks 34, Chiefs 28.
Wow.
See, I think Tom Brady is going to – we had Casey Joyner on Friday's show on the Sports Bash, and he brought up that Tom Brady's going to throw some interceptions. Now, it just sparked something in my head where he has been throwing interceptions, and that's going to play a role in this game. If he does it on the wrong side of the field and you give Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and that offense maybe a chance to score some more points, that could be damaging, and that's what's scaring me. But Kansas City's offensive line is extremely banged up, and the defensive pressure of Todd Bowles and what he has in JPP and what he has in Shaq, that's a scary matchup. There's so many intriguing things now that I'm starting to get into it.
I'm telling you, you got listen, and there's a Philly connection to this because Bruce Arians, he coached at Temple, and he's got Todd Bowles, Byron Leftwich, he's got Kevin Ross, Bowles, and I think there are two girls on his staff, females on his staff. One's from Temple. He's got a lot of Temple connection there.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a ton of people. And that's why it's crazy because you have Andy Reid, which is a controversial person in this city, I'd say. And then you have all these Temple people involved on the other side. So who do you really pull for?
I'm like I said, I'm pulling for the Bucks, but Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be the GOAT. If he continues, and I see him playing for a long time.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's crazy how you wouldn't say – I brought this up hypothetically. If Andy Reid was with Aaron Rodgers, I don't think that you think of that duo as the next Tom Brady and what he did. But Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, for us to already see the vision of what is next in terms of a potential dynasty to the level that we thought we would never see again, the fact that it's happening right before our eyes is almost crazy. Like, do you agree with me that if you had Rodgers and Reid, while they would have success, I don't look at that as like an insane dynasty to the level
You're saying that because he's later on in his career? If he had Aaron Rodgers in the beginning.
I'm talking in terms of having Aaron Rodgers for his career. I don't think it would be dynasty to the level of Tom Brady and Belichick. But
No.
Mahomes, I could see that.
Only because he's so athletic. He has so many. He's got so many. He's got weapons. He's smart. He's the quarterback's quarterback. He's got everything.
He really does. It's crazy.
He's got it all, man.
He throws passes that I could never imagine in a million years any quarterback actually making. And he does it at ease, and he does it consistently. It's ridiculous.
By the way, if Bruce Arians wins, if the Bucs win, and Bruce Arians gets the W, he will be the oldest coach to win the Super Bowl at the age of 68.
I think they have one of the strangest relationships between the two. They were butting heads. He was very vocal about it. Yeah, very vocal about it. And now he took a step back and essentially said, I let Tom Brady do whatever he wants. He wants to run the ball. He wants to do that. That's fine. I'll just take a step back and let him do it. It's kind of funny to see someone like openly kind of admit it, like, hey, Tom Brady, obviously he's got a role in what's going on, of course. But, he did allow Tom Brady to kind of utilize this team the way that he wanted to. And once he did, it's not ironic that they spun off a lot of wins in a row.
The fact that you saw Arians and Brady, chirping at each other a little bit, I think Arians showed his presence as a coach, and Tom Brady, not that his ego obviously isn't so big, that could have blown up and have been a big deal, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it was like Tom Brady respected that. As if I'm Tom Brady and Bruce Arians is going to, throw some jabs at me. I kind of like that. Like, hey, good. I want it to be that way almost.
That's exactly how I perceived it. We had Kevin Ross on here last week, and you heard him say that. I said, what makes Arians tick? And he said, he's a people guy. He loves his players. He gets their respect, and he gives them the autonomy to be themselves.
And that's what you got to find the mix, right? You got to find that mix of toughness and, being brutal and being loud and being in their face. But you also got to find that relationship level. It's not so much just about the X's and O's. Some guys can pull it off just because of their past history and all, but you got to kind of adapt as a coach too. That old style isn't going to work forever. I think you're going to see a bit of a downfall from Bill Belichick because, you don't have the greatest quarterback to ever live, but is that style something that works without a presence like Tom Brady? You might have to adapt a little bit. So you got to find that common ground.
And that was a knock on Andy Reid back when he was here, that he would try to mold people to run his offense instead of going with their strength.
And I think that's a big reason why he's having this success. It's almost like that was not so much like an extreme wake-up call, but I think you see a different Andy Reid based off of he used his past experiences that happened in Philadelphia to kind of create a new version of Andy Reid in Kansas City.
Yeah, the Bucs are on a little bit of a roll. They won their last 4 regular season games, and then they beat division champions all the way through the playoffs on the road.
I love that you brought up on the road. They won 3 straight road games in the playoffs to get a home Super Bowl.
On the road.
Pretty impressive.
Now they're the first team to play a home Super Bowl.
I was wondering, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because I feel if you're in your home building, it almost doesn't feel like the Super Bowl. Maybe that's a positive. Maybe that's a negative. But if you're in a different city, in a different environment, maybe that is enough for you to have like, hey, we're in the Super Bowl in a good way. Like, I don't know. Is it because you're so accustomed to being in that room that it's almost a downfall?
Hunter, they're going to be in the visiting locker room.
Oh, that's very true.
That in and of itself is going to be present a little different feel.
That's true, yeah.
But you're right. I mean, look, they're going to be sleeping in their own beds, get their own home cooking, right? They're going to have family and friends. Not that, this year's a little different because of the COVID pandemic and everything, but I would imagine they're still getting, like Kevin Ross said, he already had about 400 people calling him and texting him this week.
I think it's got to be the strangest. I didn't really even process it, but being at home the night before, eating with your family at the dinner table. While in theory that sounds great, I'm not knocking that. That's obviously an awesome thing to be able to do. But if you're talking about focusing and being mentally prepared to play in the Super Bowl, I don't know. Is it almost too comfortable that you're at home? Maybe you want to be in a little bit of a different, unique environment. Want to be in the hotel to kind of make sure you put everything in perspective the right way and really focused in, and instead of being in your own living room.
And not to put a damper on things, but how about the news coming out of Kansas City about Andy Reid's son, man?
Brutal.
What
brutal, heartbreaking.
I feel so bad for the family because this is supposed to be such a joyous time, and then having that happen, of course, since he's in the limelight, it's all over the news.
Yeah, I mean, to hear that this 5-year-old girl is in critical condition, it's heartbreaking. There's no other way to put it than my stomach just fell into my gut, and so you got to be kidding me. It's awful.
The last thing in the world that the Super Bowl needs hanging over it is something like this. You feel for the little kids involved. It's just a horrible situation. 609-403-0973 is the text board. You're going to send us a text, a prediction, pick the winner, the winning team, the score, and make sure you include your name and address. 609-403-0973 is the text board. The winner will be announced tomorrow on Sports Bash with Mike Gill and Hunter Brody. Just stay tuned for that. All right, Hunter, a yes or no question for you. Has any Super Bowl ever gone to overtime?
Yes.
That would be incorrect.
Oh, okay.
It's a no.
All right.
One more. This is true or false. One or more teams have been shut out in the Super Bowl. True or false? One or more teams has been shut out in the Super Bowl.
I'm going to go false.
That is correct.
Yeah, I'm going to go false. These teams are too good. When you get to that level, you're too good.
I'm going to hate some stuff the rest of the way, all right?
Okay.
All right, 609-403-0973. I want to remind people the second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's over the 3-hour, 58-minute round. You play on their 18-hole championship golf course. Enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club, Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. When you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for me. He's a great guy. He does an outstanding job running the show. Hey, everybody knows that winter can be harsh on your home. If you're looking to replace those old, damaged, insufficient windows, then call Steve Rizzo at Steven Rizzo Inc. I did. Steven Rizzo replaced my windows, and they look great. Steve personally returned my phone call, and his team was nothing but professional from start to finish. With over 30 years experience, you can't go wrong. So write this number down. Steven Rizzo at 856-547-1760. That's 856-547-1760. Ask for Steve, and be sure to go online and check out his reviews. They are pretty amazing. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. We're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. We're streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can check us out there. We got our Super Bowl predictions going. Send us a text at 609-403-0973 with your prediction. Pick the winner and the score. Make sure you include your name and address so we can get you out a souvenir, a Super Bowl 55 souvenir courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. Now, Hunter, I believe we have some news.
Yeah, we do. The news is you were wrong with one of your trivia questions, and I thought you were, but I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, that doesn't sound right to me. We actually had Ed from Northfield call in during the break. That Patriots-Atlanta game did go to overtime. I was going to say something, but I was like, did that end at the end of the fourth quarter? That Super Bowl ended in overtime.
Yeah, but I pulled it up. I just printed it up.
Well, I'm just letting you know that 2 years ago, or what? I guess it was 2017 now, not 2 years ago.
It ended in overtime?
Yes, it did. It was the crazy game where Matt Ryan blew it. They had the 28-3 lead. Tom Brady came back. I thought that was it, but I was like, you know what? I'll trust Schweimer here, and I was right. My gut was right.
Well, listen, I got to be honest. I'll just read it right off the sheet that I printed up. Super Bowl trivia.
Well, that Super Bowl trivia would probably is from like 1995 it ended. What was the last date on? Knowing you probably got it out of the newspaper.
Oh, well, then maybe I have to throw this one away. How about that?
Well, my guess is, realistically, with all jokes aside, it probably was made in like 2016 or something where it doesn't have the 2017 Super Bowl in it yet. So then, you know what I mean? Something like that probably is in play here.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Yeah, Ed from Northfield. Thanks for chiming in.
Yeah, way to step up, Ed.
Yeah.
We got a couple more Super Bowl predictions.
We do. Well, we got a lot of people just texting in general about things. Weather could play a key role tonight. Calling for rain. Advantage Brady.
Remember the Colts and the I think it was the Colts and the Bears, was it? That it rained down in Miami? That was a horrible, or Tampa Bay, I think it was.
And then here we have Wade from Cape May Courthouse saying Kansas City 32, Tampa Bay 27. A lot of people, I haven't really seen one that stood out to me yet. Like everything seems to be 32, 28 in that range. Like no one's been ballsy enough for my liking yet.
All right, how about this for a question for you? Which team has lost the most Super Bowls? I'm going to give you 4 teams.
Okay.
Which team has lost the most Super Bowls? The Giants, the 49ers, the Cowboys, or the Broncos?
I am going to go Broncos.
That is correct.
Broncos. Nice.
According to this.
Yeah, no. I'm because I'm thinking like, okay, Tom Brady's been there a lot. He has a couple of losses on the resume, so you got to factor them in. Of course, the Bills comes to mind just based off of the Bills getting to the Super Bowl and losing constantly. But yeah, the Denver Broncos.
All right, at the bottom of the hour, we're going to be talking with former Atlanta Falcon Ed Smith. He's on the Believe in Cardinals podcast. I listened to your interview with Joe Valeria. That was a great interview with you guys.
Yeah, he was passionate. He was fired up.
Yeah,
he's ready to call games with Gil as the color commentator. I loved it. He was very, very passionate about it. And it's always fun when people bring that
informative and he entertaining too. I mean, he lived it.
I'll be honest with you. We've gotten a lot of guys from this Believe in Network, and the Believe Network has provided some great interviews. So,
of course, Ed Smith played in Super Bowl 33. Denver beat Atlanta 34-19 in that Super Bowl. So, all right, here's another one for you, Hunter, real quick.
All right,
I'm gonna give you a multiple choice.
Okay.
All right? Which player has the most Super Bowl rings? Mark Fleming, Charles Haley, Ted Hendricks, or Terry Bradshaw?
Excuse me. Let's see here.
Fleming, Haley, Hendricks, or Bradshaw?
I'm gonna go with one more time. Go ahead. Give me the rundown again.
Mark Fleming, Charles Haley, Ted Hendricks, or Terry Bradshaw?
Haley.
Charles Haley is correct.
Bang.
You're knocking him out.
I am. I'll be honest with you. I'll be 100% honest with you. That one was a legit dart. I just threw a dart and I guessed my ass. I had no idea. Guessed.
Give me real quick. Give me a fond Super Bowl memory.
For me?
Yes.
Well, I mean, doesn't it kind of have to be the Super Bowl here in 2017?
All right. Exclude the Eagles.
Oh. Well, I don't really have anything that like really stood. I'll be honest. If it's not the Eagles, which I've only experienced the ones that we have here, I never really had like that emotional tie to any other ones.
I thought the Seahawks throwing an interception on the goal line and the Patriots that stands out because you know why? If the Seattle, I was in a block pool, and if Seattle scores, I lose.
So you're going, you're going financial here, which changes things around. But if that's what stands out to you the most, well, then so be it.
Well, I mean that's why it's one of my memories.
Well, that's fair, but I don't, when I'm younger and all, I'm not putting money down. I'm not going to my DraftKings Sportsbook app and throwing in bets. You know what I'm saying?
It was a block pool. You can imagine my adulation. I jumped like you saw Tom Brady's reaction on the sidelines. Can you imagine what I was doing?
You think yours was more intense?
$500.
I think Tom Brady was probably not as excited as you then.
I think you're right. 609-403-0973 is the text board. Give us your Super Bowl prediction. Give us your the team, the score. Make sure you include your name and your address, and we'll get you out a souvenir of Super Bowl 55. Memorabilia souvenirs like a glass. I think it's going to be a glass with the Super Bowl on it. It's going to look nice. 609-403-0973. I want to get back to the Eagles real briefly. There's all kind of rumors. Now, this one with the Chicago Bears is sticking up, but I've also seen Dallas Cowboys. Have you seen that one?
With what? Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
All right. I've seen a lot of rumors, and I've seen one with the Bleeding Green Nation has put a couple out there. The Cowboys might be in the mix.
For Carson Wentz?
Yeah.
Nah, I'd be shocked if that's the case. But I saw something that they were just about to sign Dak Prescott again.
Well, they were just about to, but until they do.
I would be shocked if they traded for Carson Wentz.
Coming off a pretty brutal injury. He's not signed as of right now.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I can't see that. I think the Bears. Honestly, my gut feeling tells me it's already secure. It's already kind of worked out, and now they're just waiting for the Super Bowl to end. I think because they're saying it's coming early next week. If people are already claiming when it's coming, it's kind of already worked out, and they're just figuring out some details, and then they're going to wait to announce it. My guess is it's where there's smoke, there's fire, just like we've been saying with Carson Wentz in general.
By the way, there's also reports out too, Hunter, that the problem wasn't Doug Peterson. The problem wasn't Carson Wentz. I've seen numerous reports from players that have been quoted as saying that that's not the problem. That wasn't the problem with the Eagles this year.
Howie Roseman, while he is respected for his tenure, he's also not liked by a lot of people as well. Now, that doesn't mean, like, we can blame Carson Wentz. We could blame Doug Peterson because they didn't do a good job last year either. For what they were handed, they didn't do a great job in their specific jobs and their roles either. But, yeah, there's an issue up top that has not been figured out and has not. But here's the thing. I think we're at the point now, if you want to look at it positively, if you're a Howie Roseman despiser, now everyone says he's never going anywhere. He's never going anywhere. I think this is sort of that defining moment for him. If this continues down this path, I think Lurie will eventually be forced to make a move. If it's this way, if you're 4-win seasons, you will be forced to make a move. He fires coaches who makes the playoffs 3 out of 4 years. So this is sort of, he's on the line now. It's one or the other at this point.
I hope you're right, man. I just don't understand the loyalty that Lurie has to this guy.
Well, I think if you base it around the league, and I hate to admit this, but like if Howie Roseman was fired, he's picked up within a second.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of it, there's not that many elite, insane GMs around the league that are just like, wow, every team has these. His track record will speak for itself. There's so many dumpster fire organizations out there that will obviously look at Howie Roseman and say, well, he was in Philadelphia. He can help out. Like, I'm just looking at the bottom of the bottom. You tell me the Jags wouldn't be like, wow, Howie Roseman. Like, these teams would all be like, wow, Howie Roseman. He's been involved in Philadelphia where he would get picked up.
So somebody wants the accountant.
I have no problem with the accounting part of it. It's huge. Like, to make it seem like the only part of being a GM is just drafting. Well, that's not fair because there's a lot of number crunching. There's a lot of issues other than just draft picks. But what they have missed on so heavily of the recent past is the drafting.
All right. Second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the Howard 58-minute round. You play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, or experience lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations. And invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan and the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like-new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the main line, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pledgey, Maserati, the main line, at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at MOTML.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with Ed Smith from Believe in Cardinals podcast. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. We got our Super Bowl prediction going. Send us a text at 609-403-0973 for an opportunity to win a memorabilia item, a souvenir, Super Bowl 55 souvenir, courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasure. 609-403-0973. Pick the team, the score. Make sure you include your name and your address. The winner will be announced tomorrow on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill. Now I have the opportunity to speak to a local guy. I love it. I love when we talk to local guys who made it big. So let's go to the sports hotline and walk into the locker room. He played for the Falcons. He's from Pemberton High School, Ed Smith. What's up, Ed?
Hey, Billy, great to be on with you, man. Appreciate you giving that PTH shout out. Pemberton Township High School, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I love we tend to get I try to get a lot of local guys that have made it to the big. We've had Kevin Ross on, a couple guys Pennsauken High School has a load of them. So it's really cool to have you on, and I love it when local guys do real well.
Appreciate that, man. And people don't realize that our area, that South Jersey area, was so loaded with talent for such a long time. And, I came across a lot of guys throughout my career from the area. And like I said, we just supplied the whole nation with a lot of athletic talent, a lot of good dudes and young ladies out there.
I'll tell you what, man, South Jersey football doesn't get any better than that. Hey, Ed, so I wanted to get you on to talk about your Super Bowl experiences. But before we do that, you had a baseball career. You played baseball before you went to football.
Yeah, I did it. I came right out of high school in '87. I was drafted by the White Sox in the 7th round, and went back and forth with them for a little bit. Ended up putting 9 years in the minor leagues. Topping out at AAA. But White Sox, Brewers, Cubs, Indians for those 9 years, and then made the decision after the '95 season to give my shot at football. And God blessed me to make that work, and then put a few years in the NFL as well. And, obviously, made it to the Super Bowl. So a lot of a ring around the rosy, but, I got it done, through 15 years, man.
You played for the Eagles in 1999. That'd be pretty cool, coming home and playing for your hometown team.
Man, that was part of the one of the funnest experiences. It was like being back in high school almost. I actually stayed with mom and dad across, the Ben Franklin, down back to Browns Mills. So I was commuting every day, and like I said, it felt like I was back in high school. It's just I was doing it in the the green and white with the Eagles. But great experience. Andy Reid's first year, Donovan McNabb his rookie season. I was there for a few weeks before I ended up going to Detroit from there. But like I said, it was an outstanding experience, and representing the hometown and playing, like I said, for the Eagles.
That had to be like surreal, like you growing up watching the Eagles your whole life, and now all of a sudden you get an opportunity to play for it. That had to be pretty cool.
Well, especially after all the years, because I went away a little bit with baseball, and people kind of, they forget about you when you're not in the headlines every week. So when I resurfaced after all those years, and there I was, like I said, locally, man, I had teachers and friends and family, coming to hang out, watch us play in Philly. Also, when we went up to play the Giants, everybody came up from representing in the Meadowlands. So like I said, it was just a great experience. One of those things that I look back on, and it was like so much fun. And, you have to pinch yourself to realize you're in that situation. It was definitely one of the best parts of my career.
We're talking with Ed Smith, former NFL tight end for the Falcons. You played in the 1998 NFC Championship. You were winners there. What was that like when you guys knew that you were going to the Super Bowl? What's that? Describe that feeling when you like 13 seconds left on the clock and you're going. What was that like?
Billy, I'm getting a tingle just thinking about that. Because we went up there. We went up to Minnesota, 11-point dogs. Nobody in the world gave us a chance. And we fought all the way through it. And at one point, they were lining up for a field goal that would have iced it, and it went wide left, and we had a shot. We got the overtime, and I was actually on the field goal unit to seal the game for us. I was on the left wing, and just the nervousness and the anticipation. Ball gets up over the line of scrimmage. You see it going through the highlights, and it was like that old Toyota commercial, man. I jumped in the air, and it was this pandemonium broke loose on our sideline. The entire stadium went silent, but man, it was just the greatest experience. My brother Irv was actually in the stadium that day. He was playing for the Niners at the time. We beat them the week before to even get to Minnesota. So we had our little small crowd of about 100 up there, and we all celebrated, trophy celebration, all the cheers, everything. It was unbelievable. Like I said, to this day, every year I get I just reminisce about that experience, and man, it can bring a tear to your eye, the joy,
You're getting me pumped up, Ed. You just mentioned you guys were underdogs. What do you like? What do you like? What would you rather be, an underdog in a big game or the favorite?
Man, I tell you what, that's a great question, Billy. I would actually, oh my goodness, I would like to be the favorite, knowing that, you have the edge, but I don't know, that underdog role, man, we wore it well that year, 14-2 finish, but nobody even still gave us credit throughout that season, and obviously Minnesota was 15-1 that year. So it was one of those things where, we wore that badge, like we were disrespected, and we rode that all the way to the Super Bowl. Obviously, we came up a little short against the favorite, the Broncos that year, and that was just an experience in itself. But going into the big game, I'd rather be the favorite, but you don't get to pick which side you're on.
Yeah. We're talking with Ed Smith, former NFL tight end. He played for the Falcons in the NFC Championship champions there in 1998. You can follow him on Twitter at Ed Smith Speaks. And now you're doing the Believe in Cardinals podcast. That's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I do that, and also I'll be celebrating 4 years on. It used to be formerly NBC Sports Radio out here. It's now a different affiliate, but I'll be celebrating 4 years with the Easy Sports Talk show as well out here every Saturday from 10 to 12. So I've been getting my feet wet with media for a long time, Billy, and I know how hard it is to do it. So that's why I love shows like yourself.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You get to talk about childhood. You grown up as a kid playing sports, and they get to talk about it. Can't get better than that. Hey, Ed, let me ask you a question. You're in Arizona. What brought you to Arizona? Why did you end up in Arizona?
Initially, Billy, what happened when I got traded from the White Sox to the Brewers in the middle of the '91 season. Before that, I always stayed in Florida because at the time spring training was in Florida with the White Sox. When I got traded to the Brewers, spring training was out here. So after '92 spring training, I went away, played. I came back here that first winter and spent it and fell in love with it. So I, went back and forth for about 3 or 4 years, spending my winters out here. Then when I got switched over to football, took me back east for a little bit, and I, ended up buying my house in Atlanta. Was there for a bit, and then right around 2003, man, it just got called back out here. This beautiful weather right now. It's 70 degrees. I know you guys with all that snowing over everything.
It's snowing right now.
Yeah, I know we have to deal with the harsh summers, but man, it's a great trade-off when, like I said, everybody's dealing with snow, and I'm running around in shorts and a T-shirt right now.
That's awesome. Hey, yesterday I had former punter won a Super Bowl with the Rams, Mike Horan, and he gave his perspective as a punter. I want to get a position player talk about this year's Super Bowl, and how do you think who do you like, and how do you see this thing shaking out?
Man, this is one of those tough ones to choose because of the experience of Brady, but lack of experience around him, obviously. And then you got KC, who's coming off, their victory last year, the defending champions. This is, this game is going to be really interesting. Who gets the upper hand the quickest? And, the turnover battle. Is Tampa going to try to keep up and score with KC or try to slow them down with that defense? I've been going back and forth all week, Billy, on a prediction. I finally had to make one yesterday on my show. And this one, I find it hard betting against Andy and Mahomes with 2 weeks to prepare, all the tricks and gadgets that they have and all the weapons. But, Tom and Tampa are going to give them a fight. I just see this one probably being a little bit of a high-scoring one, probably 34-30 KC. But like I said, I wouldn't put it by Tom and then pull it out. Nothing will surprise me in this game. But like I said, I'm looking for a really entertaining game, not one of those sloppy ones like we had a couple years ago. What was it? New England 13, Rams 3.
Yeah.
This one's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. One play could decide it. And that, who knows, it might even be a special teams play, but looking forward to a really good game.
We're talking with former Falcon Ed Smith, former NFL tight end. He's now with the Believe in Cardinals podcast. You follow him on Twitter at Ed Smith Speaks. And Ed, here's how I'm looking at this. We're watching history. You're seeing like a passing of the torch, if you will, from the GOAT to the guy, the new GOAT, because he's good. The path that he's on, he's just amazing to watch. He's fun to watch. I'm just excited to watch this game tonight.
Absolutely, and it's so hard to root against. A lot of people root against Tom because of his success. I respect what he's done. 10 rings, 10 times to the big game. But you are very right, Billy. This could be the passing of the torch. Mahomes is so early in his career, could be his second already with Andy and how they put that organization together. We could see him going, multiple times to the Super Bowl. But I will say, in order to beat a man, you got to beat the man. So until this one is done and there's all zeros on the clock, I'm not putting anything by Tom and BA and that staff they got over there. So, but like I said, when it's all done, we can start, kind of lighting that torch. But until, like I said, you never know what can happen, man.
Yeah, my heart is with Tom, but my head's with Patrick Mahomes. And you just can't count them out, like you said.
Absolutely, man. But like I said, more than anything, I'm just hoping for a great game. Whoever wins, I just want it to be one of those that we can remember and not, and I just have that anticipation that it will be. I don't see this as a blowout or one team taking the other one to the, behind the woodshed. I think this is going to be a really entertaining game.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ed, I wish we had more time. We're up against it. These are short segments. I want to thank you for taking time out to talk with. I get to talk to a local guy from Pemberton High School, South Jersey. Here, I really appreciate it. Of course, you can follow Ed. Listen to the Believe in Cardinals podcast. Follow him on Twitter at Ed Smith Speaks. Ed, thanks a lot.
Anytime, Billy, and shout out to all my people back there in South Jersey, man. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, there he is, former NFL tight end Ed Smith from Pemberton High School. Hey, I want to remind people the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home to the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on the 18-hole championship golf course. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always, always a great day at Great Bay. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events that seems to fit for your business, send an email to Ken at Jersey Man Magazine or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap it up and get you ready for Flyers hockey. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN. Back here live in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. Super Bowl Sunday coming up next on 97.3 ESPN with the Flyers dropping the puck at about 12:25 against the Capitals, Hunter Brody.
Yes, it was supposed to be noon. I guess they pushed it back a little bit on us, huh?
Hey, your boy Ovechkin, 3 goals.
That's what you're predicting?
No, that's what he has right now, 3 goals.
Oh, okay.
Why I said your boy.
Why is that my boy? Am I some
Like,
Alexander Ovechkin fan?
Yeah, remember? Yeah, you were singing his praises last year.
Now that you had a half a season last year due to COVID, and this year you got a 56-game season. I mean, he's got no. Unfortunately, he has no chance. But he had it. The fact that he even had a chance to begin with is crazy. By the way, Tom Brady has the most Super Bowls. We acknowledge
six.
Yeah, but when we were doing the question that you asked me, people were texting in saying that Brady had the most, but we acknowledge that this was a little old.
Right. Like I said, I just printed up something. I guess
it's clearly pre-2017, but I'm just letting the people know that keep texting in. We understand that this was an outdated question.
All right. How about this? The age difference between Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, 18 years and 145 days.
Yeah, so it's crazy because there was all these stats of like when Tom Brady played his first game, how old Pat Mahomes was. It's like, it's crazy, right? I mean, come on.
When let's see, when Tom Brady was born in 1977, you know who was the MVP of that Super Bowl that year?
I don't.
Receiver for the Raiders.
Oh.
Used to have all that stickum on his Fred Biletnikoff.
How about that? Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Someone I would have just pulled up off the top of my head. Come on.
All right, Hunter, give us. We have some more predictions here coming in. Let's read a couple.
Yeah, we got to read them out.
Yeah, make sure you get your name and address on there. So if you win, the winner will be called tomorrow on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill. Let's read a couple.
Ryan Coffey from the Villas thinks that the Chiefs are going to win 37-21. Now, I'd be disappointed if that was the outcome. That's a little bit of a blowout, right?
37-21?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a blowout.
And then, Jason chimes in and goes 38-16, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, if you think this is just going to be an easy blowout, I don't think that that's fair, right?
I would really be let down if that happened.
I think people are disrespecting the Buccaneers' defense a little. And not only that, you got to remember that this Chiefs offensive line is extremely hurt. Extremely hurt. Not just a little hurt. They're extremely banged up. And that's going to play a big role. Don't you think?
Absolutely. By the way, you know, Brady's got 6 rings, but you know what's even more impressive? He's been in 10 Super Bowls.
I know. It's wild. It really is.
Think about that, 10 Super Bowls.
And that's why when we had this question brought up earlier, how do you walk away if you're Tom Brady, knowing at this age you're consistently going to Super Bowls? Why would you walk away from that?
All right, read a couple more before we have to get out of here.
All right, we got a wife of Warren Wade checking in. Elizabeth Wade checks in from Cape May Courthouse. So we got both of the Wades here coming in. She says Kansas City 36, Tampa Bay 24. Another game where it's unless in these scenarios it's close and the Chiefs get a late touchdown to kind of make it look a lot worse than what it is, kind of. You know what I mean?
I don't know. By the way, Warren Wade, I grew up with Warren. He's from Collingswood.
Gotcha.
Good baseball player. He loves the Flyers. Big hockey fan.
Does he like fighting?
Absolutely. He's from Collingswood, baby.
Oh, that's the fighting place, huh?
Not anymore. All right, give us another one.
I think I just got a little bit of Flyers news on us, though.
It's a national game. That's why I got pushed.
No. I think we might be seeing Sean Couturier.
Get out of town.
Yeah, Sean Couturier in, Travis Sanheim out. That's weird. So I wonder if he got a little banged up or something.
He did skate yesterday.
Yeah. No, I think the Sanheim being out is weird. I wonder what that means for him. But Sean Couturier being back in the lineup is monstrous.
They lost a lot of faceoffs against the Bruins. They were weak in that department.
Yeah, well, that top line, man, it's scary. But I just wanted to throw that your way. I'll throw this one here. We have Matt in Delaware. He says Chiefs 30, Buccaneers 28. Let's see Andy Reid get 2 in a row with 5 exclamation points.
All right, Hunter, man. I'll tell you what. Let's get ready, get yourself set up for a great Super Bowl tonight. What do you think?
I think I'm there for it, baby. I think it's going to be a good one.
What was your prediction?
I think it was 28-24 Chiefs. That's what I went with.
28-24. I'm going to go 26-23 Chiefs. 26-23 Chiefs. Hey, I want to thank Ed Smith. Of course, I want to thank Hunter Brody, Johnny DiMaria from Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures for this weekend. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Stay tuned for Flyers hockey and then Super Bowl 55. I'll see you next week, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.